Hi, Diane here. I'm going to try to make a quick video. I have been trying to record a video for the last couple of weeks and there's something wrong with my video camera. So I've been looking on YouTube, what would we do without YouTube? And I may have solved the problem. So I'm going to talk fast because what'll happen is it'll record up to a point and then it just stops recording with a message of buffer overflow. Writing to the media was not completed. Looking up, on Google and on YouTube. Well, anyway, I think I might have solved it. I may not have. So, time will tell. Here we go. This is the retirement vlog. I've been retired for some months, but I got a little bit of news. I have rejoined Stampin' Up! As a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Even though I talk a lot about my knitting and my sewing and crocheting and etc., etc., I like to do a lot of fiber crafts. I also like to ink, to use rubber stamps and inks and make greeting cards and 3D projects. So Stampin' Up's New Year begins June 1st with the new catalog, and I've been kind of looking at the products and I bought a few things that I needed, even though if you look behind me, those are all my stamps and punches, and you can't even see my paper. But anyway, I have a lot of supplies. The reason I only stopped stamping because I couldn't afford it anymore. I didn't have enough disposable income. I didn't have customers. I didn't have a customer base. There aren't a lot of people around who were interested in coming and stamping or buying supplies from me as a demo. So in order to maintain my demonstrator status, I had to spend a quarterly minimum. So when that got to be a little more than I could handle, I stopped. I did it for 5 years and I really enjoyed it and I love doing it. So we'll see what comes of this. Now that I'm retired, maybe this will be a little more of an outlet. Maybe I can drum up some business, so to speak, or get a card stamping group together. Can't happen overnight, but we'll see what happens. So, let me show you one of the things that I'm making this week. Stamp-wise, it's a little dollar store candle, and it smells really good. It's strawberry lemonade, and it's a little candle with a dome top. So of course it looks like a little latte cup or something, and it's glass. And I saw some people on YouTube do it, putting a straw in it like this and then putting it into a cup holder like this. So I decided to make those for Mother's Day, and I put this little message inside there. You can make a little card that says Happy Mother's Day and slip it to the back. So I'm making a few of these. I'm making 10 of these because I bought some strawberry lemonade, some cool lime, some peachy colored ones, and some berry ones. So with those colors, it looks pretty cute. I'm using, anyone who's familiar with Stampin' Up! Will see that I'm using Pansy Punch and stamps that are probably either retired or going to be retired. These are in colors that are no longer, they're retired stuff. I'm using up my old stuff before I start buying new stuff. And especially I can, giving it away for Mother's Day, people don't know that it's retired card stuff. So. Oh, my dogs never fail. Every time I try to make a recording, Zuzu, be quiet, go lay down. So let's get to the knitting. It's not a knitting video, but I've been taken by knitting recently. So finished object is a pair of vanilla socks. Zuzu. Alright, excuse me while I kick out the dog. Out! You're getting out of here. Go. Get out! Please excuse that interruption. The dogs do it every time. Okay, first finished object are these socks. I don't have them on sock blockers because these are size small and I don't have that size yet. I gotta get a size small sock blocker. I love these to wear with jeans. These I'm giving away as a birthday gift. And they're made from the Patton's Croy Socks FX. That's why it has that lovely gradient color, and yeah, I think you can see that. See, the colors are neat. I like them. And I did this deal, you know, stick a little bit of extra yarn on the end in case somebody springs a leak, you know, get a hole. I'm going to send this along with the socks and a birthday card, because on the back, can you see there are the care instructions. And so the person who receives the socks won't have any questions as to how to care for them. I'm also going to send a note in the card that says if they're not to your liking, if they don't fit, if you don't like the color, no problem. Just not to worry. I'll make you a pair to order, because there are always socks on my needles. I have a couple of pair on my needles right now. I don't have them in the room with me today to show. I can fix this later. But that's one finished object. I have another finished object in sewing. I'm talking about all these project bags I want to make. Well, I haven't made any because the one that was already in progress, I just vowed that I would finish it before I started another bag. And I've never had a project take me so much time as this did. It's a cute bag. It's a drawstring. It has a handle with adjustable strap. You can see, and you can take this strap right off because it's on those strap rings or whatever you call them. Sliders? No, those aren't sliders. This is the slider. And it has the drawstring, which I just used some black cord. I had red in it, but I didn't like the way it turned out. So here's the way it closes up. And if you'll notice, there are multiple pockets. We have a pocket here. Well, first there's a pocket here. Then there's a pocket here. And I left them big. I didn't stitch on them and separate them because most of the time when you put a pattern, you have your pattern that you've printed out from Ravelry and it's on 8.5 by 11-inch paper. So you take your pattern, see your project, and just stick it right here. I thought it'd be real easy to know which project is in this bag. And then there's another pocket. And then there are pockets on the front that are zipper pockets. And you can see there's vinyl. Oh, no, here it is. Vinyl pockets. So you can see if you've rolled up your needles in there, or if you have stitch markers, or if you have your phone, whatever it is you need. You could just use this as your purse. Well, then everybody knows what you had in here. And I also did the same on the other side with the amount of pockets, although I stitched one of these pockets down at about this width so that you could put in pencils or pens or maybe knitting needles. It's a medium-sized bag. It might be too big for a sock project, but it'd be good for a shawl. It might be too small for a sweater if you want to carry around all your balls of yarn. This vinyl pocket here, I stitched. Okay, let's see if we can show this. I stitched down the middle of it. Do those stitches show? So that the pocket would be separated. It is lined. You can see the fabric is balls of yarn that say knit, purl, check, gauge. And then the black fabric, I wished I would have reversed it. The black fabric is cuter because it's got sheep knitting, but you can't really see them. It's a cute little... But you know, there are a lot of project bags made out of this fabric, so you've probably seen it before. The inside is all exclamation points. For whatever that, whatever that means, right? And besides being lined inside, I put these, it's twill tape with snap tape, and I have one on each side so that you can open it up, stick your yarn from your ball, stick your strand through here, and there's one on this side too, so that if you're doing socks two at a time, you could put one ball and have the strands come up through the snap tape, and go from there. This was a commercial pattern. Patterns by Brenda, I believe. It wasn't easy to follow. It was very difficult for me to make it because there was so many. Oh, and it's also got batting in it. So between lining, back, lining fabric, batting, top fabric, pocket, zipper, vinyl, trying to sew these side seams was giving me so. I swear I broke at least 5 needles. And every time I tried to make sense of the pattern, something didn't make sense to me. I'd have to wait and think about it. Then I just decided to do it my way. It's pretty much the way that there was one piece, I swear. It said, make this piece, set it aside, which I did. They never returned. The pattern never gave you the instruction to go back and get that piece. I might drop Brenda's patterns an email and say, what? What was that about? So anyway, finished project bag. Now I can make some more simpler bags that are more utility bags, utilitarian. Just zip, 1 or 2 pockets. I might keep the snap tape idea though on the inside. I like the idea of lining in the snap tape. That was from Brenda's pattern, so that was a good thing. So all in all, glad that project's done. Last time, so that was socks done, bag done. Last time we spoke, I was working on my knit crate project from, this is May, April. I got the green color. Oh, I put that pattern right here. The chloris, the shawl scarf shawl, whatever this thing is, don't know. Last time I had knitted about this much, and that ended section 1. So I think I spoke on my video that I rolled up the rest of this light colored green. When I started section 2, I used the next gradient color and just held this to the side in case it wasn't right. And as I went along, I decided it wasn't right. So I went back and took that part out and finished all that first color. Then went, even though it was in the middle of section 2, and then continued along with the next gradient and the next gradient into the dock. And right about where I am right now is halfway through, because I just started the second skein. It's a 2 skein project, and you knit from the light color and then to the dot gradient. Then when you wind the ball the next time, you start with the dot gradient and knit your way down to the light, so that it'll go light, medium, dark, dark, medium, light. So this is probably at about the middle of the back of my neck. So I guess it doesn't look bad in a picture, right? It didn't look bad in the pattern. But to wear it, I don't know. It's a little odd. It doesn't feel like a shawl. It doesn't feel like a scarf. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see the way this goes. So this is the reason I don't have many things done, is because, well, there's been a lot going on in life and retirement stuff. But I've taken this thing apart so many times, more than I've ever what do they call it, tinking? Because you would finish a section and then you'd compare. It'll say, you now have 32 stitches, and maybe I'd have 36, or maybe I'd have 28. There's not a regular check on how many stitches you should have per row until you get to the end of a section. It just says 1 stitch increased, 2 decreased, blah blah blah. So because it wasn't coming out right so many times, I said, duh, I will write it out for myself at the rows. So now I don't check every single row, but maybe after about 5 or 6 rows, I have calculated what the stitch count should be, and then I check it to make sure it's right. So right now I'm right and all the stitches are right. So yay, it's halfway done. It'll be done soon, because now I have all the stuff written out, hopefully. This wasn't my color of choice. It's making me knit out of the box, out of my comfort zone, which is probably a good thing. Now I've received this month's knit crate, and I'm not going to even show it because it's all the same color. Everybody gets the same well, this is just the regular knit the regular knit crate box. I don't get the sock crate. So I think, is there anything else I want to tell you about? I'm a Stampin' Up. Oh, anyone interested in seeing my cards and things like that? I have a website. It's score at 4 1/4. Score at 4 1/4.blogspot.com. I will put that in the information box underneath this video in case anyone wants to go over and see my cards. I haven't really posted anything there since probably maybe 1 or 2 in the last year. I haven't had a lot of posts because I haven't been stamping as much. I used to post every day. I took 1 year where I posted every day for about 3/4 of a year, hoping that I might gain some customers or gain some interest. Nothing came of it, except it's good to have a place to post your cards because there are a lot of card challenges you can participate in, which is really fun. You get to participate, see other people's ideas. You don't really win prizes, you just win things. If you win, you win. And you can say, I won the such and such a challenge. But it's good for your skill. It's good for skill level. And I got to the point, because I made a card every day and posted a card every day for about 9 months. Man, I could fling out a card faster than you could believe. Nice cards too. And it's like everything else. The more you do, the better you get at it. So, I'm looking forward to more cards and more of these 3D projects. I like making the little gifty items, the little candy boxes, I like giving stuff at the holidays. I used to do it at work. So that's why another thing, I didn't think, not having everyday contact with people, I might not be making as many things, which is true. But, for the family celebrations, like Mother's Day coming up, we're going to a brunch with my daughter-in-law and son and some of her family. So I got to kind of get the count of how many people are moms. But let me see if I can show you. I'm not everyone is getting a Mother's Day one, because some of them say Happy Mother's Day. One of them says thank you for my daughter-in-law. She kind of booked the restaurant and got us all together. And the rest, for people who are there that are not moms, it just says cheers. But only the ladies are getting a gift, a little candle, because the men never the men are never really interested. Oh God, this sounds like I'm not trying to be biased. It has been my experience that the men don't enjoy it unless there's candy in it. Then if there's candy in it, I make it for everyone. That's true. I guess that's all. I didn't have any notes. Oh, I have one more thing I made. I just looked at it on the floor. I didn't make it. I revamped it, refurbished it. A paper towel holder. It's oak. I think it's oak. No, I don't know. It's not oak. Some kind of wood. I washed it I cleaned it all up with the Amish wood soap that as seen on TV. Stuff works pretty good. And this top had a little, it's like an enamel top, and it had a country decal on it. And so using a Mr. Clean sponge, I was able to erase it all and clean up that piece of ceramic, I guess it is, piece of tile. And what I did was I cut a piece of decorative paper, which is a little fairy. I think she's holding a peace sign. I'm not sure. So I cut her out of the paper with a scalloped circle punch, and I glued it to the top, and then I Mod Podged it. So it's kind of shiny, huh? If you can see the shine. But so I have a refurbished paper towel holder, and Lord knows you need that in here. You need that in the craft room. Did I mention I'm in the upstairs craft room, not downstairs in my sewing area. I'm very fortunate to have an upstairs room and a downstairs room. I can give you a quick tour. It's not in the cleanest of condition, but it is. It's not lived in, worked in. Let me just flip this camera. Let me get this here and show you a quick look around. I did clean up in here though. I'm going to chair in the way. I store my stamp sets here in my three, I have these 3 bookcases. They've been all over this room. I have redone this room so many times. If you've seen my videos before, you're probably familiar with this room. I have to get back to show you. Okay, there's that wall. 3 white bookcases that I need a step stool to get to the top. Well, starting at the top, I keep clear shoe boxes because I can see what's in them. There's ribbon, there's supplies, there's some with lace, there's plastic, there's all sorts of supplies. Then I have Stampin' Up! Stamps. Mostly I have Stampin' Up! I have other companies too in different places. But I prefer photopolymer stamps. That's my #1 favorite stamp. And then after that, the Cling red rubber stamps. Those are okay. You put those on acrylic blocks. I like those. But there were times where the Stampin' Up! Stamps, certain ones only came in wood. And so I do still have some wooden stamps as well. Wooden blocks, mounted red rubber stamps. So, a lot of supplies. These are all my paper punches, my little paper punches, more stamps. More stamps. These are stamps and also framelit dies that you can put on what they call the big shot to cut out shapes. Here's some of my 8.5 by 11 inch paper from Stampin' Up! More stamps, more stamps. More punches. These are the old-fashioned whale punches. I keep most of the stuff I've ever had, although I did sell, right when I retired, I did sell out about $700 worth of stamps because there were some that I didn't love, so I got rid of them. There's a lot of painting supplies down here, more paper, painting, watercolor pencils. Most of my pencils are in there, and my paints. These are the current colors in Stampin' Up! The ink colors and the refills. There's a revamp of the colors happening June 1st. So I'm in the process of getting these old ones out. And I keep my old stamps, my retired, not stamps, inks. I keep my retired inks in another carousel over there. So, but some of the retired inks are coming back. Woohoo! So I can take some of my retired paper that I didn't use up and put it back into my paper stacks. Also, I'm going too fast there. This is my plasticware. This used to be all over my room. I put it all together. These hold the 12 by 12 inch specialty designer papers, which is cool. And then also it also houses tools. This is my Big Shot. If you're not familiar with the Big Shot is a die cutting machine that you just hand crank to cut paper, emboss paper, and there's a lot of pieces to it. I have in here, and then I have other tools that are envelope makers, etc. And as I said, these are more supplies. It's my mailing supplies, and these are cards that I've already created. Christmas cards, thank you cards, birthday cards, holiday, congratulations. In case I need a quick card. Most of the time if I need a card, I'm going to make a card. But I make cards for challenges, and then I just have them here. If someone comes by and says, hey, Di, you got a card for such and such, usually I can pull one out. These boxes up here are miscellaneous stamps. Look at this one. I like that title. Unique stamps. They're oddball stamps that I got at stamp shows. I have more supplies here, which this is all organized, but I have not yet taken the P-Touch and put the labels in it. See, this is no longer true. It says my Copic markers are there. They are not. The Copic markers got moved over to there, where all the color is. So this is a big supply cabinet that is my cutting table. These are all embossing folders. These are all embellishments for things, for crafts, and so on and so on. The drawers are full of stuff like that. There are all my dollar store candles. I went so far as to put the straws in them. You can see the way I work is I make the prototype how it's going to turn out. And at first it was going to be bigger. I'm going to very slowly zoom in on this. I don't know if you can see it. See up there the thing that says hello? That was going to be the candle box. But it was very big. it held the whole candle so that, but you could hardly tell what was going on. So I changed it back to a smaller size. So I went through all that math for nothing because someone had put this, I think it was someone called Jan R. Stamping with Jan maybe. Put something like, not, it doesn't look like this because mine has changed too. But she said that she saw it with someone else. I will put the link in the information box in case someone wants to go see the actual, because there are there's all the dimensions. I changed it. That's the beauty of being able to do what you change it up to be what you want it to be. So, and I work assembly line. Once I know what I'm going to do, I put all the straws in. Then I created all the side panels for the boxes, even though the boxes aren't made yet. I created all the side panels last night. Now I'm into making all the punched flowers. First I stamped them, then I punched them, and I'm making 4 flowers per box, 2 here, 2 there. I showed you this is a little card. I have to cut out the cards. So next I'm going to be cutting out all my cards and the shapes I need, and cutting out the circles in the cardstock for that little hole, so that I can put the candle in to hold it. I am using a really cool Misty tool. This is my Misty tool. Stampin' Up! Has a Stamparatus now, which is even better than the Misty tool because you can do a lot more things with it, but Stamparatus just got this. Stampin' Up! Just got their Stamparatus, and I've had my Misty tool for a few years now. What's the beauty of the Misty tool is that you can put a piece of paper in your Misty stamper and put your stamp here, press it. There's not any ink on it right now. You can see it's very faint. But if you stamped an image and it wasn't dark enough, you could come back over here, take your stamping pad, put more ink on it, bring it back, stamp, and because you've added more ink, it would be a brighter image. But what's good about this is you can make multiples, or I can just move this up and stamp another flower here in the next spot. Just keep going. See, that's how I did this. And then you just punch out all your flowers. That's what I was doing. I stamped one, punched them out. So that's what I do. I do assembly line. I've got boxes to cut out now, as you can see over here. Oh, this is the photography area. I take pictures up here. I just push these in there for when I do card challenges or when I'm selling things on eBay. It's nice to have a lighted area for picture taking. It's more supplies over here. And this is my light box, although it's not a box, it's just a flat LED screen, which is fantastic, and it's really bright. I'm not using that for this project though. But here's the cardstock cutout for the green's not showing up at all. Can't tell it. It's all washed out there. Let me see if I can get this green. It's a mint. It's actually called something pistachio. It's a pistachio green. It will match that cool lime. So what I've done is I've cut out the green ones. These are going to be this is going to be the boxes, the bottom boxes. This is going to be the greeting card that sticks up. And this is going to be the inset. I've already cut out the circles. And after I cut out the circle, of course I save it. I save it to put on the card. You save everything when you're a crafter. You save everything and use it. So then, and I stamped this one to say, thanks a latte, because that could be like a frozen latte, even though it's a candle. Well, it's a little more about stamping than I thought I would talk about tonight. But this is my upstairs craft room. This is the desk. I lost my laptop right after I retired. Kind of bit the dust. So, not my laptop, my desktop, and so I've been using the laptop since then. And it's convenient. It's right here. I have my laser printer right there. I cleaned out all this desk area. I dumped a lot of stuff out of here, so that was pretty good. I have a hand crank Singer sewing machine right over there that has to go downstairs with the sewing machines. Instead of a treadle, it runs by a crank. So you only get to sew with one hand, you're cranking with the other. Wow, those women were great in those days. Unbelievable, huh? Well, I'll leave you with that. Hopefully I don't think my camera has stopped during this whole lengthy conversation we've been having, so I'm happy. I may have fixed it. Thank you very much, the person on YouTube who told me what to do. So have a great week, and I'm going to try to be, doing some more vlogging, I think, because, well, the camera's fixed. That's a big piece of it, right? So take care, and we'll see you again. Bye now.